In this video, we'd like to show you how easy it is to set up Eve shutter switch. In the box, you will find the manual with the HomeKit setup code. You will want to keep this in a safe place for future uses. Feedback card, the frame and fixing frame, the switch plates, the switch power unit, the switching unit, mounting screws. Safety instructions. Please note, Eve shutter switch requires a neutral wire and is only intended for use with copper or copper-clad wire in dry indoor locations. Only authorized electricians may connect, install, and set up Eve shutter switch. Prepare the installation. Before you start installing Eve shutter switch, turn off power to the circuit breaker associated with the shutter. Ensure power is off by switching your existing shutter switch up and down multiple times. Remove the existing shutter switch. Remove your existing wall plate and shutter switch. Only proceed with the installation if there is a neutral wire in the switch box. These are usually blue and are required for installation. The line wire is usually brown and connected to input L. In our case, the wires that lead to the shutter are black and gray. Note how they are marked on your current switch. Taking a picture of the wiring can make it easy to remember which wire is responsible for opening or closing. Detach the wires from your existing switch. Connect Eve shutter switch. Connect the line wire to output L of Eve shutter switch. Next, connect the neutral wire with output N of the switch. Now connect the wires from the shutter. Connect the gray wire to the output, which is responsible for opening the shutter. Then connect the remaining black wire to the down arrow output. Mount Eve shutter switch. You're almost done with the installation of Eve shutter switch. Place the power unit in the flush-mounted socket and secure it with the 3.2 by 25 mm screws. Make sure that the outputs point downward during assembly, so you can be sure that the arrow plates show the correct direction. Place the frame on the power unit and secure the fixing frame with the supplied screws. Insert the switching unit and then press the rocker switches onto it. In your fuse box, switch on the fuse dedicated to the circuit of that shutter switch. You should now be able to move your shutter by pressing Eve shutter switch. Add to Eve app. Eve shutter switch can be installed using Apple's Home app or the Eve app, which is available for free from the Apple App Store. We do, however, recommend using the Eve app as it offers more options, such as creating schedules or activating adaptive shading. If this is your first Eve device, open the app and click on Add Accessory. In case you've used the Eve app before, go to Settings and add Eve shutter switch. Select the room where Eve shutter switch is located and assign a name. Set Eve shutter switch. After adding Eve shutter switch to your home, end positions must be set to always display the correct position of your shutter. During the setup, you will be prompted to completely open and close the shutter. Simply hold down the button in the app and release it when your shutter stops moving. Now you have completed the installation and have the option to set your favorite shading and ventilation position. In addition to configuring your favorite positions, Eve shutter switch offers other many useful features in the Eve app. Schedules are one of the most convenient functions of Eve shutter switch. Once you set up a schedule, it will be transferred to the device so that the shutter can be automated even if Eve shutter switch isn't connected to your home hub. Different schedules can be set for specific days of the week. Adaptive shading automatically provides protection against the sun without fully darkening the room. Enable adaptive shading, then tap the settings text in the room view or navigate to the settings of Eve shutter switch. Set your window direction based on the compass of your iPhone by holding your iPhone directly to the window, with the top edge touching the glass. Set the desired shading positions of your shutter. Your shutter will move to this position when the sun can enter the window, and fully open when the sun can no longer enter the window. If needed, adjust offsets to account for larger trees, buildings, or other obstructions that might impact the shading. Now you have successfully set up Eve Shutter Switch. Enjoy! Siri, open my shutter.